Nagel's in studio. Good morning.
Good morning.
You look to me like you would have been a Holy Grail Monty Python fan.
Nah, I was raised on austerity. I only had books.
Okay, all right.
No television, certainly not cable.
None of that.
Nope.
Yeah, so there. It is
all those jokes go right over my head.
It's interesting because it's
a complex humor.
It mixes kind of a highbrow humor with some history, but with some silliness and some potty humor. I mean,
people make fun of me using those euphemisms all the time.
Yeah.
But
I was going to say, what you just laid out, those 4 points, the mixed humor and the history and the new stuff and all this other stuff, is kind of the craft beer industry, isn't it?
It kind of is.
Again, yeah, I work with a bunch of witty, I can't say it on the air, a lot of witty people that make fun of me using those euphemisms all the time.
Nice.
But, hey, so
right.
I'm familiar with spam a lot, I guess.
So
I'm a lumberjack, and I'm okay.
Buried Acorn Brewing Company is in Syracuse, and it's a new brewery, and that's where Nagel is working currently. And each week he brings in a new beer for us to try. You guys have a lot of different beers for a brew.
Thank God. I mean,
because this will
get stale soon.
There's a lot of experimentation going on.
Yeah, we're
cool.
constantly trying new things. And I can't wait to start bringing in some growlers of our new stuff, but it's currently aging. But today I brought in the third of our series of cans.
Well, this has a sweet aroma to it.
Yeah, this is a big, big beer. And it was 30 degrees outside, so I didn't even have to get this cold.
Yeah.
This was just in the back of my truck. So
I feel like I'm already falling asleep. I've had 3 sips.
It's a good thing. Yeah.
So Stash Hero.
Wow.
A lot of these, like the first beer you bought in was called...
Hot Whip.
The Hot Whip, which there's a story
With the
behind
dumpster
it.
fire. That's funny.
Yeah.
Is there a story behind that?
I have no idea, but this has probably...
It's got unicorns and rainbows.
Yeah, this is probably the best label that I've ever seen on a beer. So we have Syracuse artists decorate our cans and our labels.
Cool.
So this has a zebra-decorated unicorn dragon breathing purple fire at a squirrel who is fighting the leprechaun that's riding the back of this unicorn. I have no idea.
And I think the squirrel has a ray gun.
I'm not. Yeah. I mean,
yeah, it's a ray gun.
It's what they used to use in Star Wars to zap people, right?
Yeah,
sure. So if you have 4 of these, this is what you see.
That's what I was going to
have
say.
A 4-pack,
because
this will be your reality.
This is like this is a meal. This
absolutely. So this is 8.2% alcohol.
Okay.
It's very thick. It's very viscous, but that malt body gives it a lot of sweetness.
Yeah, it is
balances
sweet.
out.
Yeah,
balances out the ton of Amarillo hops and everything else that we put in there. So you get a lot of tropical fruit aromas from the Amarillo hops, balanced by the sweetness of the big malt bill, and then a high ABV because of all the malt. So this is our double IPA. I think it stands up to anything that anybody's making in the country, and it has the most entertaining label on the market.
It really is good.
Double IPA is twice the alcohol. Explain that.
Well,
in this case, it seems like it applies. It's
sure,
twice the
absolutely.
alcohol.
But I guess it's all relative to. You can write anything you want on the label, but if the beer's not in the can or the bottle,
Sure.
Yeah.
So some people's double IPAs probably don't stand up to this, and
I will say that is very full-bodied.
Yep.
And it's amazing to me how these hops actually bring on a sweetness or a bitter, or depending on how you.
Yeah, they sort of emulate different aromas that you're familiar with without, I get mango and passion fruit from this, but obviously there's no fruit in there. It's all just malt and hops.
All right, where do you get this, by the way?
You can buy this at your better beer stores anywhere. And also, I'm happy to say we're going to be in Cliff's local markets now. So,
okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So you are accomplishing things.
I'm working on it week by week.
What is interesting about, just so you know, what is interesting, because this is a new brewery, and you say in your better beer stores, each time you see this get more and more prevalent, you realize that's the work of Nagel.
Not necessarily. So it's the work of customers, really. People who make their choices to try new beer, and they're putting their money on the line.
Yeah. How about
these guys are putting their money on the line making the beer, but it's the customer that really drives the market.
Establishments on tap anywhere?
Oh, yeah, all over.
Okay, all over the place.
Oh, really?
Find it all over.
Yeah,
I look forward to trying this.
Okay, good stuff.
Cheers.